Grace and peace, folks. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Today I wanted to talk to you about dominion. Because we are a people who understand that we are kings, priests, and understand that, we're royalty. A lot of times you'll hear us say peace king, peace queen. You'll hear all that. But what does that really mean on a practical level? What does it mean for us to be kings and priests? Someone asked the question, they said, you're a king, but I don't see any literal crowns on your head. I don't see you decked out in jewels. Now, if we got spiritual, if you had the gift of discernment, you would see all kind of things: robes, mantles, crowns, jewels, all kind of things, insignia, all kind of things on people's bodies and that they wear and everything. But if I would just keep it on a natural level to explain this, what is a king? What is a queen? We know that's a sovereign ruler. But what are you a king of? Because we understand that we serve the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, so he is ultimately our king. So do we rule over people? Because a king is traditionally known as someone who rules over people, who has dominion over subjects. But that's not the kind of kingdom we have as kings and queens. You don't have any subjects that you rule over. So what does it mean? What it means when we say we're kings and queens, it means we have sovereignty over the things that come from us, over the things that represent us. So as an artist, when you paint your painting, you are a sovereign over your painting that came from you, that was issued out of you. When you were creating, you had authority over what it would look like, how it would be. You gave it its character. You gave it its identity. You gave it life, you could say. You gave it existence. So you are a sovereign over your piece of work. If you write a song and you create a verse, a chorus, a verse, a vamp, a bridge, whatever you put in the song, those creations, the formulation of the words in that order with the melody, all those things came from you. So you are a sovereign. You are a ruler over that. If you want to change it up, you have the total right to do that. If you are building something, crafting something with your hands molded it into the image you wanted it to be in. And if you have mastery, you had the image in your mind, and then you produced a replica of what was in your imagination. You produced that image from your imagination. So you are a ruler over the thing you created. So we just talked about, if you created a painting, you are a king over that. If you created a song, you're a king or queen over that. If you molded a sculpting, then you are a ruler, sovereign over that. Same thing if you are in the midst of giving a speech, and it's a speech that you created, and you come off script and you begin to freestyle and you begin to flow off of whatever flow that you had, whatever spontaneity, whatever flow that you come up with, whatever flow of words or streams of consciousness, you are creating that. So it's an art form. So what am I saying? I took a lot of time just to say that you're a king or queen over your creations. You say, well, that sounds kind of weird. It might sound weird, but it's true when you look at it. If you create something and that thing that you created is used by somebody else, we deserve the royalty rights, and we own the royalty rights to the things that we created. You know, there's whole businesses and whole systems of law to protect our rights of original creators. And why do they call it royalties? See, that goes back to old school language. That's kingdom language prior to democracy. Royalty is kingdom language. But it is basically the understanding that because you created it, just because somebody else duplicated your work, it doesn't mean that you should not get credit for it. It doesn't mean that that work does not always belong to you unless you give up your royalty, unless you give it away. And that has to be proven that it was that you intended to give it away. So in other words, you have a right in court. You have a right if somebody takes your stuff without your permission and utilizes it and gains profit, especially from that which came from you. So it is kind of hard to believe that you're a royalty and you're a king or you're a queen, you're sovereign, if you're not creating anything. Because if you're not creating anything, you will never see those things that are subjected to you in action. You never see your creations paying homage to you. You never see your creations pointing back to their creator. Now, if you go back, some people teach that, only God creates. And, we are just vessels. Well, I don't believe that. I believe he made us in his image and likeness, so we create as well. And we create because he is the creator. We create in the same way he expects for us to give him glory, to give him honor, to esteem him. He has made us in his image and gave us the ability to create things that would give us honor, give us glory, and give us esteem in the earth. So that puts more light on it when we say, let's give him glory. When we're saying let's give him glory, that means let's collect glory out of our own value and esteem and worth. And then once we have received honor, esteem, and glory, let us give that glory to him. Now, when we say give him glory, now we're giving him accolades and praise, and we're giving him adoration for giving us the ability to get glory. Scripture says he has given us the power to get wealth so that he may establish his covenant. So his covenant is established based upon him giving us the ability to get wealth or get value or get glory. So we can't really give him glory unless we have it. And if we don't have glory or we don't manifest glory, then there's no way that we can collect or reclaim esteem and honor for him. So kingdom language, kingdom identity is much connected to creativity, and it's connected to artistry, and it's connected to expression, it's connected to sovereignty, because you have to prove your dominion over something, your dominion over the elements of the earth, or your dominion over the depiction of visual things, of light and sound, your dominion. You see, because there are laws that govern each one of those things. There are laws that govern what we see. There are laws that govern what we hear and how we hear it. There are laws that govern how we feel things. So if you're master over texture and you can manipulate the texture of things, all those things establish who you are in the realm of those spheres. And if you become a master and a master craftsman, a king, a queen, a ruler, then you produce things that are subjected to you and that will always point back to your glory. So that's just a natural example of how we can say we're kings and queens, but we don't rule over people, because we all have dominion. It's not that some of us have dominion and other people don't. We all have dominion. And so the thing is, what are we called to rule in? What sphere are we called to dominate? And how do we utilize that dominion so that we can bring glory to our Creator and our King? It's a practical understanding of kingdom identity and creativity. Grace and peace.